Okay, welcome everybody. So, still got the rate high messages up. I don't know. I'm still figuring things out and adjusting things on the stream, and yeah. But something interesting that I found. Oh no! Whoops! I clicked myself. Um, I was looking a little closer at, just to make sure that I would still be within the realm of okay for using the tag and this part. Anyways, it just says software and game development in science and technology. Now, while we might do some code clashes, I did realize that I can use this tool to work on the project that I blasted in the world chat this morning. So, pretty bold, and I don't like being like a salesman or anything like that, but my goal eventually is to make a website that will help others get into computer science. So, also, real quick before I forget, one of my favorite things at my software development job was every Friday we would wear Hawaiian shirts, ta-da, or flannel. And now I do have a couple of flannels that would probably fit me a little better than my old Hawaiian shirts. I need to get some more. But, anyways, but it's really hot. So, also, I was just out on my walk and thought of an interesting concept which relates to why I do all this stuff anyway. Actually, I have a little battle wound from the weeds. Let's see if I can see that there in the light. It's a little straight. But, anyways, I was on my walk and I saw some trash. And so I was like, oh, someone ought to pick that up. Of course, someone oughta. And so I did continued my loop around a lake and was just thinking, in my head, getting ready for the stream, and I was like, someone oughta. Well, why not me? So I was like, all right, well, I'll at least pick up that piece of trash. I saw a few pieces of trash, but if I could pick up that one big piece of trash, there we go. So I get back there, and then I start looking closer. I pick up the piece of trash, and then there's like another, like a pop can all crushed up. So I'm like, okay, well, that one's definitely got to go. That could hurt somebody. Kids playing by it was by a creek, and I was like, okay. And then I see more trash. So I'm like, okay, go pick up this piece, get some napkins, and before I know it, I've got these just two handfuls of trash. I mean, the creek looks good; it's all clean, and I walk by it every day on my walk. So it's like, you know, I got to look at that. Everyone else I live around's got to look at that. The neighbors got to look at that. So someone oughta, and that relates to this is. There's a lot of people out there that would love to code and understand computer science and all these complex topics and getting these aha moments that we enjoy, on a day-to-day basis. Granted, we also have the frustrations and the headache, and that's another thing, Someone oughta. Hi, what's up, time traveler? Welcome. Oh, wait, is that from today? I need to do a test. Let's see. Yes. I think. Sorry, I'm also still. There we go. So, anyways, we're going to work on open source computer science and enjoy Hawaiian Friday. So, um, all right, cool. Also, one cool thing I did want to point out, and I was really bothered by how it looked elliptical with this part. I did fix that. So if you look at the CSS, we'll go to navbar where border radius is, and I usually go a little overboard with border radius. Um, Pixels, px versus percent. So if you change it to percent, you get this noise. Wait for it. To anybody, that would cause an OCD stir, I feel. I mean, that is just, like, it's got way too big of a curve. I just want rounded edges. So, take that off, PX. And I have no excuse. I did take a web development or a web design class in college, but, it was one of those things where I had two computer science classes and then I had my web develop or design class. In fact, I think I even had a web development class at the same time. So I learned HTML, CSS, or I learned HTML and CSS in the first day. We were expected to just know how to use it, and then by Wednesday, the next class, we were already doing JavaScript stuff. So, anyways, I digress. But, um, like I mentioned earlier, I blasted to CodinGame that I'm teaching computer science. So, and it's in my profile too. If we do that, throw that up. If anyone wants the links, we got the links here. Also, the links are in my Twitch profile, but it's still pretty new to social media in general. Anyways, there we go. Yes, novice computer scientist. There's the link. So this is where we'll be working today. This is this. So CodePen, and then the stream, of course. But I love CodinGame so awesome because you could just go to the live streams. Also, if you ever want some more hype on your streams, do the CodinGame because I'm going to be ending my streams with raids every time now. So, and I'll target these first. So, encouraging other, computer nerds. So, anywho, actually, let's leave that on. Well, we don't need that right now. Let's try to keep things to a minimum. Also, Tiny Tina's came out today, so I'm gonna get that. I need to clean my PlayStation. That's why I haven't been doing game streams. So I might be doing some of that. I'm definitely gonna nerd out on that. Anyways, back to open source computer science, which is what the OSCS stands for. Now, the main things I wanted to do. Let's see. I have some notes. Before we get too far, because this is also going on the YouTubes, and I know I ramble a lot. I wanted to get this information out too before I forget. In fact, I'll make notes. Let's make a notes section down at the bottom, and then just or no, we'll have it at nah. Sorry, I'm going through a few different things. Okay, so I did have a disclaimer earlier. So just a basic paragraph saying that this website is going to be, production ready, completed, whatever. It's never going to be completed. It's always going to be. I'm going to be including more stuff. Oh, and I wrote kind of a bit of a script whilst on the walk. Let's see. I've said it a few times, and if you go back to my YouTube and watch some of my older videos, I talk about variables, splitting them between primitive. In fact, let's go ahead and open up. Let's get Python open because that's the one that I really want to be working on. And eventually we're going to do this too, I think, in the stream. Finish up the Arabic translation, at least to where my colleagues can look it over and make sure it makes sense. We can even start a Spanish translation now that I know about Google Translate or remembered about it. So, or no, I did go through and change all the corners. See, they're round, they're not an elliptical. It still looks bad. I mean, it's right up against the edge. But, like, if this were to be viewed on mobile, there are ways to change. I'm trying to remember where that would be. I think it's just, you can either do it here or I think you could do it in the CSS where you can change. That's one of the first things you learn in Free Code Camp is how to use these three tools to change the appearance for cell phones. But honestly, if you're hoping to learn computer science on a cell phone alone, then you deserve to see the website all janky. But no, eventually that is a thing. So we're going to add a paragraph and then just do like an asterisk, coming soon, Python, Java, data structures. Oh yeah, what I was just saying, talking about variables. They are pretty much just split up into primitive and objects. I should clarify about that because data structures are objects. And I opened up the Java page because we do have a little bit of like we've got the primitive data types. Let's go ahead and click down to that. Oh. That's something. So these are also notes to myself. Code, section, backgrounds. And so that gives people like an idea of like, okay, this website doesn't look all that great, it's not finished. Well, of course it's not finished. Here's what we're working on. So, and then if we look at Python, where is it at? I also need to change the buttons. I don't like how you can't click any of the link. So I open that in a new page. Python is seriously struggling. Like I've got, I just randomly start talking about how you can do math in the Python interpreter, so it's like, there's no real point to doing that from what I've found, at least not with the basic level, but, I guess I just want to make it to where anyone coming into this fresh can see, oh, this is what it looks like on my computer, cool, I've got Python 3, and then I've got this, and I can type these, awesome. So, and then I immediately just jump into, okay, here's this, so right between control flow and that I should put functions, and I need to take this out. This is kind of out of place. Like, oh, or wait, no, sorry, it's this, because I do the example and then I do an explanation. Yeah. Also, I tend to ramble. If you look at a few of the sections, they're huge. So I need to maybe edit the readability. I don't know. I don't know if I want to put that on that. I mean, that's just kind of a thing in the back of my mind. But I want to work on that. Um, in general, 2D arrays, because I could have a whole section on that. Um, sorting algorithms, graphs. In fact, I'm going to put that near the front because while in theory I learned about them, I know very little about them because I didn't do so good on that part of school. So, anyways, something I want to learn, and I could learn it better. And then if I can learn it, I can put it on here and then help others with it. So, bada bing. But yeah, this is just looking bad, especially compared to Java. Like, I mean, I spent a lot of time getting Java already, at least the basics. So, and I even have there's that classic grade example, and then with all the test cases too. So right away you get a sense of, okay, this is how I would check multiple things now that I know a new concept. So, all right, yeah. So the backgrounds, and we just added themes the other day, which was pretty neat. And again, to anyone watching these things, careful with El Fuego. In fact, I should also put a note in there. El Fuego is a satirical theme. Please note, El Fuego is a satirical theme. Theme Z. Proceed with caution. There we go. And also, throw this into anything with a spell checker, like chat, satirical. Okay. Satire. Satirical? Nope. Oh, it doesn't give suggestions in the... It's funny because I'm actually using the Twitch chat to spell check. I could also do it in an email. I can do it in a... Oh, and also, before I forget, funny development with that computer that showed up at my house yesterday. It was a mistake. They had changed their minds, and they wanted me to return it. But that's not even the best part. They said the return labels should be in the box, which they weren't. And I told them that. And now they're saying I need to contact help desk, which I used to do as my second job after college. And I need to fill out an IT ticket and work with them and get return labels sent to me. So now I just got, and I keep feeling like this is a test. Like, okay, we were just kidding. We do want you to work the job. You've proven yourself. Because it's just a basic IT job. It's not even anything like too crazy. So, but anyways, I digress. I just want to throw that out there. I thought that was funny. So it's going to take a while. There's going to be some delay. All right. Now back to the features. So El Fuego is a satirical, how do you spell satirical? Cow, ow, alright. Little copy pasta. There you go. And take out the extra space. Cool. So now when people come to the site, which they might start doing now that I'm blabbing it all over. Also that holds some accountability too. It's been taking me a long time to finish these sections, but now that I announced it to the world of CodinGame, and I'm streaming on CodinGame, now I gotta finish it, so. Anyways, so I want to get that done. Zip was another thing, let's add that in there. And this is for Python, so it's actually Python zip. Okay. Although that could also go with 2D arrays. But 2D arrays are different in whatever language you're working with. In Python, they're lists of lists. In Java, they're actually arrays of arrays, which I guess lists are pretty much arrays. I mean, although major difference with Java, you can only have, the same type in each array. And unless there's a way around that too. There might be a workaround, but yeah. Let's see. I even threw in recursion in the beginning. That might be a little too much for just getting into. Oh no, I learned recursion my second class, second semester. So yeah, like I want to have like loops like this in Python. So although there aren't, I did a do while, yeah. So there's no do while in Python, I don't think. Okay, so we've got Python, Python zip, Java data structures. Although I think I know I need graphs. Let's see. Let's go to advanced. I mean, the more I look into these websites, the more I realize, there's stuff that I'm missing. So, Java Advanced. Okay. So, data structures, file input, output, and objects. So, I'm thinking I should move objects earlier. Or what I could do, other objects. There you go. And then I could just clarify. Let's see, where is that? Other objects. Now, gotta go down to the header. Let's see. Inheritance. Just passed it. Okay. Yeah, because this is the answer, or the question object that I'm making for my hand raised project. Let's see. Which is supposed to be tutorial materials for kiddos. So, um, other objects. There we go. Save that. So now, I mean, again, this is, I don't want to get too into designing specifically. Like, this is why it would be nice to be hosting this personally. I mean, or maybe it's the paid part of CodePen. I'll have to look into that. But there should, I mean, if you're hosting your website locally, you can actually just do an include and have files included in your HTML. So, like, especially for JavaScript, like, all of this would just be like a one include statement here. Like, include this file and then include this file. So, yeah, so every time I make a change, I got to go into each of these web pages and change it. But let's see, so data structures. So I think I can put it in this part. Just say, let's see, how did I word it? I have notes. Yeah, data structures are objects, and if you think about it, all objects are complex data structures. Or just data structures. They're not even necessarily complex. I mean, you can make an object very simple, but anyways. Would like to make a few different examples, like an employee object, so it could be real world applicable. Game account object, perhaps, maybe. I don't know. And data structures, I need to add a lot. So I'm thinking subgroups. Just add a little note for now. Okay. And with CodePen, you can just do control / and you'll get a comment, just like a CodinGame. Let's see. Make subgroups of more data structures. There we go. I.e. graphs, binary search trees, other trees. Because you show the distinction between the types of trees. Let's see, graphs, 2D arrays. That's very important, especially if you want to work with images or, anything like that. Okay. Images or encryption. And we do get into a bit of encryption in this, and that I can teach with good confidence. Actually, I take that back. In France, you got to be careful with encryption. So you might get in trouble if you encrypt too much, basically. Anyways, let's see. Got that. Okay. And sorry, I also have a flashback. It was about this time that people were, but we haven't had any of that, so I think we're good. Oh, also, little stream update. I did shrink that follower goal smaller because I thought that was a little invasive. I mean, you can see the tabs and stuff. But I don't know. You can see the URL too. I try not to do anything revealing in here, but I don't know. Again, I don't like being a salesman about this, but it is fun to hype up. We'll see. Okay, and this is the homepage. So then I do an intro. So like right here. Yes, I could do titles. So we have subsection. I tried reading a book on it. It was all calculus. I returned the book. No. So, but I do want to get into some machine learning and put some stuff up there eventually. But in fact, we'll do subsections of computer science, just all of them, because I haven't done any. In fact, I do have a QA page that I need to put in here. Should I make it alphabetical? Because these aren't really, doesn't matter. Why do I have Java Advanced in here twice? And does it work? It does. Okay. That's wrong. Alright, I mean, well, I've got Java Advanced up here because I put the languages together, and eventually I'll have, I want to do Bash, C Sharp, maybe? C++, because I actually do have experience with that. C Sharp, I haven't really coded anything in, but I applied to a job in it, so, I mean, I should put it on there. Anyways, let's see. So let's take Advanced Java out. I need to take it from there. Yeah. Make sure before I save. There you go. And actually, let's go ahead and do that. So, artificial intelligence, databases will be up there. Where did I have debugging twice too? Oh, you know what it is? I think I copied and pasted the entire, yeah. I think that's why. So we don't need debugging. Move databases. There we go. And actually, I should format this. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Oops. Did not want to chop off that part of the list tag. There we go. And there. Okay. Now, artificial, and then databases, machine learning, parallel programs, security. Don't need binary notation. That's a thing here. Google Foo. Should I have Google Foo there? No, because it's in the first one. Yes. Alright. So I'm going to take that out. And while we're at it, let's clean up this navbar too. And eventually I'm going to just get rid of this and make a whole new navbar anyway, but for now, we need to have it to where we can read it. There we go. And there. Now this one we do need, because these are the relevant topics that I did add in the main page. So if you go all the way down here, you got a brief introduction to binary notation. You've got debugging. Oh no, let's see, binary notation, security, debugging. Do I have it in that order up here? Yes, okay, good. I didn't want that to be all weird. What's this? Huh. Well, we didn't quite finish doing that, but where did... So we have an extra link somewhere. Let's go ahead and save. A white hat. Oh, also, one of my emotes that is going to be coming is my red octopus, or my rocktopus. It used to have the little fingers, but they got broken off. Anyways, for the concept of the rubber duck, which I believe I talk about in the very beginning. There it is. Oh, and debugging. Okay, that makes sense. Because that is part of debugging. So, rubber duck, for anyone not familiar with that concept, you're basically just explaining your program or your code or your project out loud to an inanimate object. Mine is a red octopus, or a rocktopus, that I actually got 3D printed at one of my other jobs, which was not a technical job, but I still hooked up all their 3D printers and their IT lab, basically. It was a production company, but anyways. Building wind turbines, so it was a really fun job. Paid a lot more than IT. Anywho, I digress. So, let's see, what else do I have on my notes? So we got the rubber duck, the red octopus, bash. That's going to be a whole subsection. Okay. Oh yeah, we were looking for this. Where does this go to? Java Advanced. That's because it doesn't have a anchor tag end, or a corresponding anchor tag. Okay. I think that should fix that. No, we don't need rubber duck anymore. Oh wait. Yeah, we're good. I got a little confused because the page rendered again and took us back to the home. So, alright. So now we have that. Okay, we can get on into Python. So Python's going to just be a long time, but we can go ahead and do what I was thinking. Right, view an editor. We can take that function out so it doesn't confuse people. Okay. Let's pass hello world, comments, primitive variables, and then I just jump into that. Yeah, I might just take that whole out. I gotta redo all that. That might do off stream. So that's just me editing my talking. Or who knows? Maybe it's stream worthy. All right. Do want to show how I'm translating the website. So if anyone else that wants to do this, how easy it is to translate it into other languages. I picked Arabic, one, because I have a lot of colleagues from Saudi Arabia, but two, the language. I want to do Russian too, because the alphabet is just so crazy, and then Chinese. But I looked at Chinese, and there's 3 different types of Chinese that you can do. So I have no idea where to start. Let's before I forget about this, control flow. It's got to be before control flow. So let's do that. Let's do a header, functions, h1. There we go. Let's see how it looks. So this is one thing I do love about doing web development this way rather than locally hosting it, because you can instantly see it. Of course, I guess it is just refreshing your local host on your computer, but still. It just renders it automatically for you. So we got functions down there. We're going to need to put a functions between control flow in the nav bar. It's primitive data types. So, oh yeah. Let's go ahead and clean this up too while we're at it. Okay, so I have it all in one line. You'll notice the line numbers skipped right here. So as you adjust this on CodePen, you can adjust it all the way over here. It still has too much to fit on one screen. So rather than doing a horizontal scroll, it just kicks it to the next line, but we can fix that. And we should fix that so it looks cleaner. There we go. Now we can actually see, okay, here are our links in a list form that actually looks like a list. Actually, I'll get rid of any extra white space. Not that it matters a whole lot, but still just bugs me. Okay, so now we have a list, and right before control flow, we need another one of these. Copy pasta that. Functions. Bada bing. So we got that. Well, looks like we got another missing end anchor tag. There we go. So that's gone. And eventually I do want to mess with the sizing of it, because if you were to, let's shrink this down. No. Stop quick snapping. Whatever. You know what I mean. It doesn't look the best when you resize the window. Like, these get scrunched up against the wall, so I'm going to need to increase the padding there. We can bring this back out. So we do have the theme selector all in line. And we only have the one nav bar on the sub pages, so that's good. Oops. Don't really need JavaScript. I'm not going to be doing a lot of JavaScript for now. So I was just happy to get the theme selector on there. Alright. So now that we got an area for functions, oh yeah, I think we're good on the notes. Alright, let's add some functions. So, before anything, let's do a hello world function. So, after functions, oops. So functions are pieces of code that are grouped together. This is done to separate different actions to their own code. Like separate, isolate, let's see, because you want it, this is done to separate different actions to their own code. Well, I might do that in a little bit, or well, allow for code, reusing code. Isolate, there we go. I think that's better. And organize the program in general. There we go. Work in threes. Okay, and now let's end that paragraph. Let's do a couple examples of functions. Alright, so need to do the so preserves, I assume that's what that is. There. Preserve, white space. So one thing you'll learn really quick if you get into any kind of web design or web development, spaces are a nightmare. Like, even just to move things around. Yeah. So I could definitely clean all that up. I do need to get that background back. I did have a background, then I started messing with themes. So it was easier to see the code. Like, this doesn't really stand out as it is. Um, but yeah. So anyways, I want to do a function of hello world. So let's go ahead and hello world. Okay. Why are you getting mad? There we go. Alright, let's see what it looks like. Functions. Functions. We didn't tie it to anything yet. Well, we should probably fix that. Alright. Let's see, how did I do that again? We got control flow, ID, control flow, so we need an ID functions in the div. We don't have a div for it either, we just threw a... Yeah, so let's make a div. Div, ID, functions. Let's actually squish all of this so we can see this a little better. Yeah. So we got functions. We need an end div tag right before control flow. There we go. Okay. Oh, and then the link, we need to connect it to functions. Let's go back up here. Primitive data types. Nope. Functions. There we go. Okay. So now we can just jump down there, and it'll take us to functions. And again, if you wanted to see that a little better. You know. Plus, I do have. I think I will be posting these periodically to my GitHub too. So, if you wanted to take a look at the code, and all that good stuff. I mean, really, the only thing that's even semi-impressive is the theme selector. So, and even that's basically just, targeting elements within the DOM, by their ID, because I haven't even figured out how to select classes, which would be really handy, so I wouldn't have to have this redundancy of main navbar, second navbar. I could just have my class, which I do have a class, to address all navigation bars, which is right there. So, and that's how I changed that border radius from that ugly elliptical down to the curved edges. Anyways, so we've got hello world, and then we've got, I might add an explanation like, okay, that's the hello world done in function form, but you would still need to throw that right here. Put a star. I'm just going to do that for now, because I might think about that later, like how to phrase that. I might be going for a walk in a little bit, and I'll figure that out. So, alright. Yeah, that is the annoying thing, though. Every time you change something, it re-renders it, it refreshes the page, and then it throws you back up to the top. So, and I didn't even finish my change. Let's see. Explain hello world in function form, calling, etc. Okay, that's just a little mental note. So, in fact, let's go ahead and make a note in my device. Let's see. Oh yeah, I need to look up one of my buddies that does hardware. because I wanted to do a stream with computer building, because that is another thing I'm horrible with. I've always wanted to do. I built one computer in my life, and it didn't work all the way, so just for a class back in high school. Let's see. Yep, talked about all that, talked about that. Cool. So, get rid of that. Um, function, explanation. There we go. For now, though, I just want to throw in some examples. We need a for loop. We need a... Although loops could be in their own section, and they should be. Because we have control flow, loops, we do. But loops doesn't go anywhere. Is it? Is it all set up correctly to... Oh, that's right. Sorry, one bug I had earlier is I was doing camel case and snake case. So I should pick a theme and stick with it. So in my home page, I have camel case. If you look down here, wait, second nav bar? Okay. Or no, I have snake case, but yeah, see, I have camel case there. I have camel case in these IDs, and then I have snake case. It's all over the place, and that is bad practice. I should change that. But I gotta be careful, because changing it will change all of this. So I already have camel case in all this. Why not? Let's switch it all to camel case. Even though I mostly program in Python now. Let's see. Well, an easy way to determine which ones we need to visit, we can just look at the nav bar. So we need to do white hat. White hat, Google foo. Oh, okay, that's not that bad. Go down, white hat. Google foo is all the way at the bottom, or no. There it is. Okay, let's make sure that they still work. I mean, work is a relative term. I mean, I want to still change them into actual buttons, like, and I want to even fix these buttons too. Like, that's like the tacky old school, like, very beginner web dev, so, or web design. And this, you can't click it if you hover over any of it. You gotta hover over part of it. So let's go to Google foo. Cool. So we didn't break the links. Something else I need to work on is how wordy this is too. I need to like separate this out in like little sections. Change the color for the links. I mean, I would use one of the other themes, which is easier on the eyes, but every time I make a change, it's going to render back to home. So I should make it, I could add a little piece of code that would be like a switch at the very beginning to where you could pick the theme and then it would load the theme. That's why I kept this, like these variables, global brand. This is left over from another project. So based on the brand, you had a different theme. So we got like Matrix, we got Citrusine, named after this streamer that I follow. It was very entertaining. Standard, which is what I thought was the best, and I actually even borrowed some of the pistachio too because I liked it better than, it made this pop a little better than what I did have. And Submarine, which just kind of, that needs work. Pistachio, it's probably my favorite. My favorite is between Citrusine and Pistachio, because I like the, I need to make a decision too. Do I want that or do I want that? And if I do that, since this is close enough to this, do I change both of these to this? And then maybe... And then there's El Fuego. Avert your eyes. That hurts. Alright. Anyway, sorry. I won't do that much. I can't promise that. Alright. So aside from being lengthy, we were working on Python. We need to get some more functions. Or no, loops. We need to do a loop section. I'm going to add an explanation for functions later. Control flow loops, we need to have a place that actually named loops. And let's go ahead and fix this. Hello world. There we go. Hello world. Primitive data types. Control flow. And Google Foo, I'm not too sure if I want Google Foo on every single section. Like, well, no. It does deserve, for now, we'll leave it. Because that really is the most important part of computer science, just hands down. Because you need to be able to search out the information. If you aren't aware of what's going on, or if you have a bug, or, especially for a job or a school project, like, you need to be able to research data. So, let's see, we were doing primitive data types, which would be, we passed it, there we go. Wait. Ooh. We didn't even have it. That's interesting. Alright, so div ID prim data type. Actually, let's leave that broken, because I want to see what primitive data types goes to nowhere. Okay, so it was an empty link. Alright, so primitive data type. Now let's see if that works. Come on. It does not. Do I have it plural up here? I do. Okay. Well, there's control flow. Let's fix that while we have it. Functions. Primitive data types. There we go. Alright, so now if we click it, it should pop on down there. Yep. Okay, so now, function, form, calling. Yeah, because there's a whole different thing. Like, I got a whole spiel working in my head right now just to explain, like, okay, so now you need to call the function and all that, but I'll verbose it a little better later. Let's see, control flow. Then after control flow, we will do loops. Well, what is all this? Oh, this is some of the deprecated stuff that was a little even wordier than this wordy stuff. Okay. Alright, so we'll do, just copy the whole division. There we go. Pop it on down here. There. Now, you gotta be careful. I mean, that's gonna be a bit of a mess, but let's go ahead and switch the handle to loops. There we go. And then for loop and okay. And even that can get into, I want to add examples of or should it even be in a function? That might be, I don't know. I'm trying to make it to where like users can just copy paste this and throw it into their own editor and then actually see it work. So yeah, because like right here we have, main, we're not even ooh, that's something we need to do. Print, we need to add some test cases. Control flow. And let's do all of them too. So like 1,000. No, let's do 1,000,000. Something really ridiculous. Just to show the upper limit corner case. Then we'll do 95, right middle of the road. We'll do at 90. We'll do 189 just to show the behavior on the edge of each conditional. Let's see, and then from there we just want one of every letter grade. So like a solid middle. So we'll do like 85 and then 75. I mean, if you really want to test like everything, you could do the edge case on everything. But if you've copied it correctly, well, I guess it just depends on how much testing you want to do. Because I know with JUnit, like in unit testing, you get really down to the nitty gritty and you're testing like every corner case you can think of. So often, but let's see, 65. Now I know that we want to test the edge cases on this. So like, let's try 60. Oops. Or, well, maybe no, 59. And then good old 0. And then negative 1 million. Or no, let's just do negative, or 1,000. Yeah, that's good. Alright, just to show all the other, like, corner cases and conditions we could do. Alright, let's see how that looks in the site. Wait, it's just... There we go. Okay, so we have some tests. We have the little bit of, or the function. I'm trying to think, because at least with Replit, if you do it this route, you might need a dunder check for the main. So if people were to try to do this in their own, might have to look at that. Actually, let's see that. Let me throw up a Replit. What's all this? Sorry, okay. Okay. Alright, Replit. Oops. My repls. Alright. So, go to Twitch test. We'll do it in test 2. Alright, so let's grab the code. Plop it into here. Oh, sorry, I need to pull up the... There we go. Okay, so now... Alright, so already there's that issue. Wait. How do I fix that? Short answer, I don't. So the problem is to get the formatting to where you can see it look all clean like this, to where it should look, it has to be in that format. So this is just going to be a pain that people are going to have to get used to. In fact, I should make a disclaimer there. Yeah. Some adjustment needed when copying this code into an editor. Because it should be editor. It's going to be the same if you copy it into Sublime Text, if you copy it into Eclipse, if you copy it into Visual Studios. You're going to end up with all this extra white space. So now all of these need to move over. Tests. Wait, am I causing it to lag? Alright, I gotta be careful with how much I'm doing on stream, because too much of this stuff starts to mess with my connection. Alright, there we go. So we've got a pretty solid testing for this, but if you run it, okay, it only printed C. Why did it only print down to C? So our conditions for C are greater than or equal to 70, so that means it's this test. Well, let's try it a couple different ways. -L, let's see what we have in here. Good, they're executable, so let's execute test 2. Syntax error, unexpected token. Oh, wait. Control flow score. What? Hold on. Near unexpected token. Well, that's not good. Well, this is why we test these things. So if someone was copying this code, they would have issues. Okay, so I actually don't know what this... It's got a problem with that. Let's get it to where we're just focusing on that. Okay. Near unexpected token on line 1. So don't know why you can shrink all of... Oh well. So this might be what I was talking about, where we needed a dunder check. Does this work? Wait, is main not in there? Oh, whoops. Yeah, main.py. Oh, it's not executable. Main. Okay, now run it. Now I wonder, is this because we're missing the bang Python? It might be. Command not found. This is a multi-line comment. Okay, so that's an issue. Letter command not found? What? Is it because it's outside of a function? Alright, so we're just riddled with issues there, but if you click run in the console, oh, I get it. So it's running main. Okay. Sorry, I gotta relearn Replit a little bit. It's been a while since I've used it. Alright, so okay. So I'm thinking we need, let's go back to this. Let's add that. That doesn't look right at all. Let's see. Let me look at... here. No, let's go there. So we need a line for our first line to tell to this. Oh no, mute that. Try and just go to my GitHub. There we go. I know a few. More than a few. Let's see. Well, actually, even better. We can just look it up. So, first line of Python script. Shebang. Yep. Okay, so now. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. Maybe that is. Pound bang pound Python 3. I was trying to find some of my other Python scripts, but... Oh, that's right. If I go to security, I do have some... Okay, sorry. So GitHub. I think I have... No, those are bash. Never mind. Okay. Well, once I think of it, I mean, this still should... So I guess if you click the run button, it's only going to run main. So then if you try to run it from here, let's try to do that. Clear. Test 2. Oops. Tets. Test. Bad interpreter. Okay. Python. Bad interpreter. It's a lowercase. Yeah, actually, I think it's lowercase. Come on. No, get out of here. Okay, so do we not need it on this one? Alright, let me just go back and look at some of my other repls. Let's see. I think this one has the most stuff in it. No. I mean, it has a lot of stuff, but... So it was the user bin environment Python 3. Okay. Maybe. Let's see, Twitch. Okay. No, it's still a bad interpreter. No such file or directory. Still runs okay. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Because we're not changing test 2. Okay, there we go. Alright. And yeah, run will still run, yep, the main. Now, if we do that. There we go. So it is still broken. We need to do the... I really don't want to have to... No. But now I have to dig... Let's see. Into my old repls. 7 months ago, 6 months ago. Alright. Okay. Yes, this should have something in it. This looks like some of my class stuff, and then also some of my... Ooh, that's code. Let's run this real quick. I always love this. That's every permutation of the curly brackets possible. That's some code I found on the internet. It's not mine. This code right here. This is all borrowed. But yeah, and it prints out all of the different... Because I wanted to understand permutations and combinations a little better, like how to exhaust... And so that's similar to graphs. So that's something that I want to add to the website as well. So we're going to need to understand that concept eventually to write about it. But, uh-oh. What reminder do I have? Oh yeah, Tiny Tina's Wonderland comes out today. Anyway, sorry. I rarely do reminders for obvious reasons. So, but never mind. This one's not... I'm looking for a dunder check, which is the double underscore. I didn't even do anything with test. So let's go back. So it's not in test 1. Test 2 is an empty REPL. Okay. Test 3 might also be empty. Or no. You can tell I like oh wait, what's going on here? Okay. There we go. This. Dunder check. So for here, well, this will still run main, right? Yeah, because that's what I was looking at. I was doing some capture the flag stuff. Okay, anyways. Ooh, import sys. That might be useful too. But first, let's just do the dunder check to see. So whenever you're changing stuff, you want to change as little as possible and then try it. Okay, main, and that's because we changed it to what I thought it was supposed to be. There we go. Let's try it again. Perfect. Cool, so let's put that in the code. Control flow. See, this is what I was talking about. Now, you need to tab the if over, and so that's going to look weird if you were to copy it and rip it and take it out, so. Alright, I'm guessing that'll look right. Let's see. Yes, cool. Okay, so now we also need to add, so we changed this. Do we need that? We do. Okay. Oops. Oh no. Let's copy that. Okay. So you still need to tell the interpreter what what you need to tell the simulated environment what interpreter you want to use. Okay. So we got that. It's printing out all the test cases. So we need to add that into, and also an explanation onto what that is. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Should also do my notes to self and notes to user somehow different. That should be, it's already my notes to user. No, you can't do that because dash dash. So anyone knowing database and SQL, that might be a little comical. Alright. So okay. Really, we're going to need to add that to every single code snippet there, so people can just copy it and plop it down into their own REPL or Replit or their own whatever. So not so much here. I mean, that's well, and already Python's a little more complex than explaining Java was, because Java Eclipse makes it easy. And Replit does, but you still have to remember, I guess you have to remember class names and everything. Whatever. There's syntax. So, let's see, for loops, do the same thing. Okay. And then take the dunder check. Okay. Nope, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We need to there we go. To show isolation of code snippets like we were just talking about, call it with an n, while n is greater than 0, print n minus equals 1. There. So now we're showing an example of that. Just gonna add a little explanation of what's going on there. We might as well just save these. Let's see. Just make it simple. So rather than test 2, this is control flow. So move test 2 to control flow dot I. There we go. The segment. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so now we have control flow. Interesting how it alphabetizes it here, but it keeps main at the very top up here. Wonder, can we... No, can't click and drag them. Oh well. Add folder. Yeah, I really don't know what a lot of this stuff does. Looks like we have a debugger in here. Got environment variables, settings, a database even. So it looks like you could do some pretty interesting stuff with Replit. I mean, most of the Python stuff that I did while learning was in Linux, so that's why I've been debating about doing a new video, a new stream. Like eventually I'm going to do all new videos for my YouTube to make them actually cleaner, like not a stream style, but I don't know, that's down the road. But I do have a video explaining Linux. Linux is really the best way, but Replit makes it easy for anybody. Like you just have to have the internets. So, all right, and also we have version control. Okay, cool. I mean, I always live in the files area, or work in the files area. So we got control flow. What was test? Do we have test? I mean, might as well. Let's just make that a hello world thing. Because then that shows how the versatility of, well, let's run it. Let's run test. Yes, we cannot do it from the terminal like this. We need to have the, wait, dunder check down here. Actually, I don't think we need the dunder check. We need pound bang pound slash user slash environment python 3. Did I get that right? User bin, right, okay. Of course, can't forget the bin. Alright, now let's try that. Bad interpreter? It's a bad interpreter. Oh, there's no second pound. Really? I hope if I could spell it right too. There we go. Hello world. Alright, so let's leave that like that. Let's go ahead and rename that testpy to hello world. Because that's pretty cool. And that's useful because you should be able to see that you don't need to separate it into functions. You don't need to separate it into with the main dunder check. If you just want to test some code, just have it just run it as commands. So, actually, do we have? Let me go back to the Python page. Actually, we can. Is there anything? Trying to think of anything else useful. Like this stuff we could probably throw in a file. Just yeah, let's do that. Touch simple maths dot py chmod plus the x of simple maths. Okay, now in simple maths, let's see if I can remember now. Slash user slash bin slash environment python 3. Print. Yay. Okay, whoops, whoa. Well, whatever, that doesn't affect it. Just gonna clear some of this out. Let's run simple maths. There we go. Alright, so you just need that. You don't need the dunder check unless you're doing functions and separating out your code into a main function and other functions. This will work just as well. So we could do 2 plus 2. See what that does. So it does look like we have to wrap it in a print statement. Okay. So, do that a few times just to show the versatility of the Python interpreter. So we could do times, or whoops. Let's do all the simple maths. Okay. Might think of better numbers than 2 and 2, although I do like it to be uniform, but still. There we go. So to show where it changes it to a float, all the different things. And we can write notes directly in the file. So let's add a comment. Notice how gives... Oh, what are you doing? Gives you a decimal number float. Actually, I'm not even going to put that in there because it could be a double too, and I'm not going to make assumptions like that. It gives you a decimal number while... Let's keep it all... Oops, no. There we go. While the double division gives you a whole number. And actually, yeah, let's do that. Integer. And then, yeah, let's do it. Float or double. There we go. Now, okay, and there we go. Yeah, because I don't think I changed the width of this, so people just coming in will see it like that. Alright, so there's a way to show simple maths. All the simple math. Oh, not all of the simple maths you could do modulo. Let's add an explanation for that as well. Modulo, or the percent sign, is used to find the remainder of the first term divided by the second term. Okay. Also, do we not add... I still don't know when to do punctuation or not. So, I guess in New Age we don't do punctuation in comments. I don't know. Alright, so we've got that. What other... Oh, and then... exponent is expressed by double asterisks. Print 2 to the 2. Okay. And also, while running this, there we go. There we go. So people can play around if they want. Divide. But, I mean, that's a lot. Let's see. Clear. Nope. Come on. The next one. Okay. I guess we could do that. But if we're gonna do that, yeah. Modulo. Do it either that way, or, well, I don't want to take away from the, yeah, let's not include that. Don't want to confuse people, so for formatting purposes, we'll just do, I think you can just do a single print without, let's see. Yeah, you can just throw a print in there. That's fine for beginning. I wonder what we could start doing is just showing them the different ways that you can create a line. If you print new line, get out of here. Look at all this nonsense. This drives me nuts. Look at that. It's like, here, you want some suggestions? Here's like 50 suggestions. No, I just want to run my program. There we go. So it does a double. So no, we can't do that. So print inherently adds a new line anyway. Then if you want to print a new line, so now we know. Alright, and there we go. We'll just leave a bunch of prints in there rather than mucking it up. And then, okay. And there we go. So now they can see labels for what number or what simple maths they're testing. There we go. So then if you want to add numbers, subtract, multiply, divide. And again, this isn't really all that useful in programming, being able to do that. I mean, I guess evaluating an expression later, but you're not going to be like, oh, wait, I want to see what 2 plus 2 equals. I mean, we have calculators on our phones, so. However, it's just good to know, I guess. So, all right, we've got simple maths. Yeah, let's just make a file for all of them. That would probably be a better way, and then they could just get the files from GitHub. That would work. Oh, yeah, Python, hello world, comments. We don't really need a file for comments. We're using comments in just about everything we do. Primitive data types. Yeah, we could do a file showing primitive. Let's touch primitive data types .py chmod. Okay. Oh. Sorry, just going a little too fast. Plus X. Gotta add it. Executable. There we go. Okay. Go ahead and clear. And go into primitive data types. Alright, now we'll get a lot of practice doing this. #bang /user /bin /environment Python 3. Now, for this one, well, I know we could do, so we'll just do simple int 5 print typer type simple int. I believe that shows int. Let's see. See, again, get away, go. Sometimes those suggestions are really useful, I will admit, but very rarely. There we go. Class int. Nice. Now, could do for as many simple int float. Actually, I'm curious if that you can also do the comment, control / will comment out large sections of code. Okay. There we go. Whoops. Of course it's still an int. Alright. Float. Let's see what it says. Okay, it is a float, because it could either be a float or a double. And for anyone who's not familiar, floating point it's actually calculated by having three parts: the exponent, the mantissa, and the value. And then, oh, it's been a very long time since I did this, but I actually wrote a program that, uh, how do I say this? It, or it converted a number into a floating point number the very complex way by using exponent and mantissa and value, and then it made that value multiplied by like the mantissa to the exponent. I don't know, it's crazy. But if you look at the actual bitwise representation of a float, like you're able to deconstruct it that way, but that's going way too deep for beginner Python. So for now, let's do, let's uncomment this section out. We'll do simple char. Now this might actually turn into string, because I'm not sure, and that's a thing with Python that's different from Java, is it determines what the variable type is, not you. Whereas in Java, you have to declare what type the variable is before you use it. So string. So it considers anything in the single or double quotes string. Okay. Even though this is a single character, or char, as it's known, Python considers this to be a string. Okay, enter, comment, format, there we go. So what other types? Let's go an actual string representation, because we want to have everything represented here. I'm going to do is a number, but in this case it's a char. There. String. Okay. Notice you can use or when using strings. Good practice, is using single quotes for single chars and double, new line, quotes for multiple chars. There we go. Okay, I'm sure I'm missing something. Let's see, primitive variables. I know there's like int, long. Wait, can I trick it into being a long? Let's see. I think there's a short too. No, there's a short? I don't know. But I know there's a long. Nope, still an int. 1, 2, 3. Does it classify? 1, 2, 3. So it must, wow. It must not be a thing in Python. Or if it is, it's disguising it from this. And we are changing simple long. Okay, because I could see it being simple int and just showing us, you know, the wrong answer that way. Okay, whoops. Come on. There you go. I know you have it up there. So, okay, I mean, the biggest that an int is supposed to be is the maximum binary representation you can have of 8 bits, and then it depends if it's signed or unsigned, because if it's a negative or a positive, if there's that distinction, you need to add an extra bit for a set bit at the very beginning of the byte. Um, yeah, but it looks like Python just kind of considers all numbers to be ints as long as they don't have a decimal. If they have a decimal, then they become a float. Um, so yeah, char in a string. There we go. And I am going to just leave that as a double line, because I just wanted to say, ooh, and then casting. Should we include casting in this? Yeah. Let's talk about casting. Casting is where you change the type of a variable to a new type. Let's see. Casted int equals 5. Float. Get out of here. Float 5, and then print type casted int. There we go. Okay. Couple more examples. Do casted char equals 5 int. Oh man. There we go. Into 5 print type casted char. So that should be a character, but as you'll see, it shall be an int. There you go. Which, in CodinGame especially, all those code clashes, it's very important that you understand the difference between ints, chars, basically just ints and chars. Floats a little bit, yeah, but not nearly as much as, are you trying to work with a number, or are you trying to work with a letter version of that? And you'll be, in fact, let me even add a note in here while I'm thinking of it. It's important to pay attention to the type of variable, spelled legitimately, type of variable. How's a better way to put that? So, variable for formatting and calculating reasons. That's a pretty good way to put it. So, do you need the variable in string form, int form, float form? Okay. I think that's pretty good. I don't think if there's any other like major situations where you want to do casting. I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but can't think of any right now. Like these are the most important ones. Oh, what we should do. I'm trying to think if this would be under simple maths or primitive data types, because showing the properties of strings. Actually, I think I want that in its own file. Let's just make more files. Strings dot py. Then we can do all things strings. Chmod executable strings. Okay, let's go in there. Remember, there we go. Pound user. And also, if you haven't connected the dots yet, this is a file path to where the environment variable lives that you're telling your computer to use. So that's root user bin environment Python 3. So let's print made it. Make sure it works. Oops, and we're running strings now. Made it. There we go. And get out of here. All these suggestions. I mean, don't get me wrong. The suggestions are great. They're just getting in the way sometimes. Alright, so made it. Twitch test. Okay. Things to do with strings. Formatting is a major part of problem solving with code. String. Oh, no, not syntax warning. See, that's what sometimes can happen. If you hit enter and then it has a suggestion, it'll take that suggestion and put it into what you're trying to do. Alright, so string manipulation. Can be done a few ways in Python. No punctuation. Alright, so let's see, sorry. Okay. Cool. Might have to go. Now let's round this out about a good couple of hours. Let's see. So we've got a pretty good start, but I do want to keep this somewhat concise for the YouTubes. So and actually I'm curious. I want to see what it looks like. So if I were to go to this website in a incognito tab. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay. It looks like you can do it. It's loading. Nice. You can see all of these. Uh-oh. Sorry, I just got yet another. No, that's okay. Cool. Anyways, yeah, so for anyone following along, you can go to this and you can copy these files. You can fork the replits. Okay, cool. So I'm going to need to add, let me go ahead and do that while I'm thinking of it. Let's go ahead and exit out of this. And then in my profile, let's add Replit. Oh, come on, where is it? Apologies. Let's see. Settings. Stream channel. No. Channel. Links. Oh, I can only have up to 5. Alright, so sorry, Loveland Orchestra. We're going to... I'll make a whole section for that later. So, Replit. And my Replit would be just A-Rye, right? Twitch test. I mean, you can see all of my replits, and there's really nothing that fancy in there. My more advanced projects I don't have up there, but at least do that. So A-Rye over on Twitch test, that's where all these relevant files will be. Okay, so now in my profile, you can go directly to Replit. So if you want to follow along with this stuff, you can. So, but for now, you have access to control flow, hello world, primitive data types, simple maths, and what is going to be strings. So let's see, we can finish out. Let's do the string section, and then we'll call it good for this stream. Let's see, there's a lot. Mostly I want to do... Oh, whoops. I just tried to delete a scene. Oops. Okay, cool. Make sure you're in what you're trying to work with. Print hello times 3. Because I want to show that concept where you can multiply a string. Slicing is where you target or work with only parts of a string. To do this, use square brackets. I'll show you what they are. Sorry, it's rather dusty in here. Okay, so print. Now hold up. Test string. Oh, hold on. Okay, test string equals hello world. Okay, print test string 1, 2, 2. A few examples of those. Within the square brackets, square. Let's do it on a new line. Brackets. You can, let's see, not declare, you can set the start, stop, and step. Or in other words, and that needs its new line. Okay. In other words, the starting point, ending point, and how much to count by. Okay. Well, step will be the third, -1. Comma 2. Alright, let's see what we got here. Let's clear some of this out. Come on, go away. There we go. Alright. String indices must be integers. Oh, right. That's range. Hello, hello. Let's make this more interesting. Start and then stop at 6, maybe? I don't know. Let's see what that yields. Okay, hello. I like that. Cool. And then let's actually just take those out and just do, whoops, we don't need 3. Okay. There we go. There we go. So reverse the string. So I want to make that known, like that's how you print a string backwards, because that does come in handy later. So, okay. Plus, it's nifty to see. Look at that. You know, it's Hello World. You just flipped it, all by just doing, you know, a few simple things. So, okay. And this is every other letter, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna say that. Print every other letter. There we go. Okay. I'm trying not to get too deep into, I'm keeping for loops separate. Like we've got string manipulation in here. Oh, print the last one. Print the last n digits with negative, or colon. No. That's the step, with negative n. There we go. So, print test string -1. Print test string -5. Let's see what that gets. And again, go away. Clear. Alright. Okay. Now, print okay. There we go. So we'll do similar. We want to use -5 as a starting point and then run it to the end. Make sure that works. There. So, let's even add a little description of that. Set the start point as the 5th character from the end of string. No, we don't need from the end of string, just from the end. There are two types of people in this world: the people that can extrapolate conclusions from incomplete data, and then that's where that ends. And then the ones that can't. Alright, and I'm sure there's even more stuff. Like you could mess with, you know, use negative indices for the stopping point. Let's do it. Let's do an example of it. Because you never know. There might be an assignment or something that you need to do one day where you'll need to do that. No, I don't think you'd ever need to, because you can use the indices forwards or backwards. This is just being tricksy. Let's do -10 as a starting point, end point -3. There we go. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Alright. So it is still, it's just a weirder way to think about it, because you're going 10 back and then 3 back. So you're just missing, we don't have any of them printing out the actual thing. We got backwards, so like 1, 2, 3. So the end character, I wonder if I should throw in here, it's not inclusive. The end character is not inclusive. And by that I mean, hey, what's up? Thanks for the follow. Welcome. See, we're just doing some Replit. Let's see. And actually, it's good that you followed because I'm about to call it quits for now. Go take a break, go for a walk. Maybe pick a different Hawaiian shirt because I have several, but they all don't fit anymore. I mean, they fit around the waist because I used to be a lot bigger around the waist. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, see, it's all tight, but I got other shirts. But it is Friday. Happy Friday. So, yeah. I did add this to. Well, why not? I'll throw this in there. So it's in my bio, but so you don't have to go to the bio. There's my Replit, and that'll take you directly to strings. If you want to just go to just my Replit to see all the files, you can go here. There we go. Make it easier for people. Like our clashes. Okay, so yeah, so you can follow along as we fill out these replets, and I think I'll get in the habit of doing that at the beginning of every stream. So we've got quite a few done today. A lot of simple concepts, although my OSCS is still sorely lacking. Ooh, that's actually a good point. Let's go ahead and, where would I want to put that? The very beginning. Past Monty Python. So we need to have Monty Python there. Replit. And then no, let's put it at the very top. Let's put it up there by theme. Okay. So let's do it just as a note. Okay. Oops. For examples, go to my Replit at, and then we'll do an ahref. Gonna be lazy and just throw a break there instead of extra paragraph tags. Let's see, ahref equals the website, Twitch test. Oh no, I'm missing T. And you'll be missing T too if you try to follow that second link. There we go. Okay. At that. And we need to there we go. A Replit. That's good for now. So, until I get around to fixing the rest of my OSCS Python page, you can just see all the examples at Replit. That might actually be a better way to go about it too, because if you really want to practice this stuff, it's handier if you already have your Replit going, and then you can just copy and paste it like we're doing. So, okay, so there's some examples. What else can we talk about with strings? Let's see. Actually, I think that might be good. Let's see, we're like right just past 2 hours. Yeah, let's call it good. So, yeah, until CodinGame tells me otherwise, I'm going to keep using the CodinGame tag for my basic web development and my tutorial material stuff, because like these are all my projects, and if you want to take a look at all my projects, I got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff mothballed. Let's go ahead and scroll through. I mean, but there's a lot of useful stuff in here. We've got the basic computer science, and it's kind of buried, but that's the first one when you go to my code pen that pops up. But then I'm also working on, let's see, hand raise, which I haven't even started, but that's going to be my tutorial project for grade school kids. We're doing simple math, science, all things STEM. Let's see, I do have, yeah, OS STEM, math, and science, where I've started a very basic outline of what those subjects are for. And again, this is for like grade school kids, or or even people trying to get their GED, their second chance at a high school education, just study materials. So let's see, we also have all these old ones. We don't need to go back through all this. These are all going to become hand raise. Like these are interactive math practice applications and spelling and shapes, but really they're all skeleton projects right now until I fix them. Ooh, and my personal portfolio, which is really ugly with the old ellipses. Alright, anyways. So, thanks for stopping by. Let's see, we do still have 2 viewers, so let's do it as the typical thing, what I've been trying to get into. First, let's see, is anyone else streaming on the CodinGame? Let's do a refresh. So I want to keep this here first for the raids. No, still us. Although it says there's 4. I see 2. There is a lag, so... But anyways, let's go ahead and raid someone who is streaming computer sciencey stuff. Let's do some other... Who's doing... Um... Hmm... Search Python. Or really, I guess I should search Hawaiian shirt and see who else is doing the Friday Hawaiian theme. No, it doesn't look like anyone's doing Python right now. Interesting. Okay, well. Let's see. What are they working on? Hacking on Cockroach DB? Huh. Coding Gardening, working on Troll Garden. I don't know. I have no idea who to stream. Let's see. Show more. Hmm. I don't know. Let's raid. Yeah, you know what? We don't always have to raid somebody. We just got a couple of people, probably lurkers. That's okay. We'll just end this stream for now. But like I said, I'm going to go take a walk, think about what I want to say for some other things. You know, get another script written up, and then I think I'll do another couple hours. I think we're going to keep going with the Replit, though. I like that. We're going to do... Yeah, we're going to fill out all of this. We're going to do for loops. We can do some simple algorithms. We could do some encryption. Oh, that's one thing I want to do. For anyone interested in encryption, I highly recommend cryptanalysis. You see that? Anyways, just a little, very small but very complex cryptanalysis encryption book, but we can be going through some of that stuff. So, alright, well, thanks for stopping by, everybody, and I will see you in the next one.